Hey, we're here at the Bali Spirit Festival. I'm Tiffany Cruikshank and Tara Judelle. We're having a fabulous time here and playing and experiencing a lot of fun classes, hanging out at the pool, doing classes in lots of different shalas. Come join us next year if you didn't make it, or you can join us on Yoga Glow. Yep, yogaglow.com. There's always that process that's constantly evolving and changing. I think for me personally, there was a big process of transformation after I'd been practicing for a while, and I actually injured myself really badly. And you know, at the time it was really difficult. I hurt my back, and I had been practicing a lot of really rigorous vinyasa practice and ashtanga, and I had finished 4th series, and I was so proud of myself, and I blew up my back, and I was so bummed. But for me, it was such a big, pivotal part of the journey for me, because I started really kind of taking this mindfulness into my practice and really applying all of my background in anatomy and sports medicine and fusing it together to create this practice that is more medicinal and more therapeutic and more mindful, to really channel and bring together the two passions of my life, which are, you know, the sports medicine side and the yoga side, and really create something meaningful. And yeah, I think that was a big turning point for me personally and in my teaching career as well. And so eventually I was grateful for it. But yeah, that was the big one.
Definitely. I know we all learn a lot when we get injuries. I spasmed my psoas, threw my neck out, major things, and luckily I have a healer in Portland who I've worked with doing Chinese medicine that's been able to help me a lot with that. But
yeah, we hope we don't have to go through that, but sometimes we've got to learn the hard way. I know sometimes my hard-headedness has to like get beaten over the head a little bit before I can figure it out. It's human nature. But I'm grateful.
Yeah.
The one moment question is so hard.
The angels never descended, and
it did. That's what I'm going to tell you.
Yay.
Is also probably after doing years of practice, I was reading some books by a man named Joseph Chilton Pierce, who wrote a book called Spiritual Breakthrough, or Initiation in Consciousness. I'm probably getting the title reversed now. And he was somebody that he wrote books before that was called Crack in the Cosmic Egg and Magical Child, and those were books about times when people have this initiatory breakthrough in their own capabilities, times like in war and extreme circumstances. And as his books evolved from the 60s, which Crack in the Cosmic Egg, to the present time, his most recent book, he'd met somebody who'd been my teacher's teacher's teachers, which was Swami Muktananda. And when I was reading this passage in the book about Joseph Chilton Pierce receiving initiatory mantra from Swami Muktananda, the Hamsa mantra, I had that kind of like boom, lightning bolt, rebirthing process that lasted for about a month. And I didn't know what it was. I wasn't sure. Like, I hadn't had a lot of teachings about Kundalini and what Kundalini does, and that I think that experience started a whole other path, a whole other wormhole into a different part of practice and teaching and meditation.
You got more? Is there something else you want to say?
Oh, there's so many things I could say.
And what's the significance of that? Why is it important that you had that experience? Did it inspire you, or what was the impact?
My understanding to date, which is constantly in question and constantly in flux, is that I think it shifted my body on a cellular level. So all these practices that we're doing are gearing up and leading to some kind of tipping point, and I think that was a tipping point where some aspect of what I thought was limited self burst into a new matrix, and it started a whole other path of inquiry around meditation and philosophy and the deeper realms of practice that you can read about on paper, you can read about in a book, but it's the map's not the territory. So yeah, experiencing that territory pretty much shifted everything about what I experienced as reality.